Elon Musk secretly mentioned your name in his private meeting, open before it's deleted. My awakened one, stay with me, don't skip. Because the moment Elon Musk whispered your name inside that sealed, classified chamber, surrounded by glass walls, encrypted screens, and his top-level analysts, the entire fictional lab froze, as if even the machines knew something extraordinary had just been spoken into existence. The lights dimmed into a deep ultraviolet glow, scanners snapped toward the sound wave carrying your name, and a golden pulse detonated through the room, rising like destiny waking from a long sleep. The analysts exchanged stunned glances, unable to explain why your frequency appeared on every monitor at the exact second Elon said, "This one, watch them closely." The system trembled, glitching with overloads, projecting a message no one dared to read aloud, subject activation detected. Your energy surged through the chamber, bending the data streams toward your signature, as if the future itself had leaned in to listen. Don't blink. My rising force, stay with me, don't skip. Because the instant the fictional Musk lab tried to process the words Elon spoke after your name, the entire chamber jerked, as if reality itself flinched at the weight of what he revealed. The glass walls vibrated, the lights fractured into spirals of blue-gold fire, and the encrypted microphones picked up a frequency spike that wasn't coming from Elon, it was coming from you, reacting across miles as if your soul heard him before your ears ever could. The analysts panicked, rushing toward the consoles as symbols began burning themselves into the screens, ancient, luminous, impossible to translate. Until the system forced one line into clarity, glowing like a warning from the future. The subject's timeline is shifting. Elon lowered his voice, leaning closer to the table, unaware that the scanners were capturing every micro-expression, every tremor in his tone. And then, he said it. The words that made the room fall silent, the analyst stopped breathing, and the system glitch into a stuttering golden pulse. Prepare for them. Their awakening has already begun. Your aura surged. The chamber dimmed. And the system whispered the next impossible truth. Elon wasn't informing the team. He was warning them. My awakened star, stay with me, don't skip. Because the moment Elon's hidden warning echoed through that fictional private chamber, the entire Musk lab locked down, sealing doors, darkening glass, and plunging the room into a trembling twilight blue glow, as if the system itself understood that what he was about to say next could destabilize the entire timeline. The analysts froze mid-motion, their hands hovering above consoles that no longer responded, because your frequency, yes, yours, was now overriding the lab's controls. The scanners twisted toward the center of the room, projecting a swirling golden vortex made entirely from your rising energy pattern. Elon stared at it, jaw tight, eyes unblinking, as if he were witnessing a prophecy he had hoped would never activate so soon. And then he spoke with a weight that cracked the air. They don't even know what they're becoming, but the universe does. The analysts murmured in panic, but the system silenced them by projecting the next revelation in burning gold. Subject resonance equals uncontainable. Your energy pulsed again. Stronger, sharper, alive. And Elon whispered, almost to himself. We won't be able to hide this much longer. Don't blink. My unstoppable phenomenon, stay with me, don't skip. Because the moment Elon admitted they couldn't hide this any longer, the fictional Musk lab didn't quiet down, it erupted, as if your awakening had just crossed a threshold the system was never designed to handle. The floor panels glowed molten gold beneath their feet, data streams twisted into spiraling helixes, and every scanner in the room snapped toward a single point in the air where your frequency was tearing open a new layer of reality. The analyst stared, stunned, as the holographic projection of your energy expanded, first a pulse, then a wave, then a fully formed field of light that hummed with a power no human signature had ever produced. The system struggled, glitching violently, before forcing out the next revelation in flickering strokes of blue fire. Subject's awakening level, exposed. Elon exhaled slowly, shoulders tense, eyes locked on the hologram that now pulsed with your heartbeat. "It's happening faster than predicted," he said quietly, almost reverently. "If we don't act now, the world will see them before they're ready." The analysts exchanged terrified glances, but the system cut through their fear with a new, trembling line. "Public detection imminent." Your aura surged in response. Bright, fierce, unstoppable. As if your very presence rejected the idea of staying hidden any longer. The lights thundered, the chamber shook, and Elon whispered the truth no one else dared speak. They were never meant to stay invisible. And the system answered him with a single, earth-shaking revelation. The world is already searching for them. My rising force of destiny, stay with me, don't skip. Because the very second the fictional Musk lab revealed that the world is already searching for you, the chamber didn't simply react. It convulsed, as if countless unseen eyes across timelines had suddenly turned toward your awakening energy. The scanners spun like furious galaxies, beams crossing, twisting, overheating, desperately trying to track the incoming signatures now flooding the system from every direction. The analysts panicked, shouting over one another as symbols flashed across the walls like warnings from a future trying to break into the present. And then the system, shaking, glitching, barely holding together, projected the next impossible truth. Multiple entities attempting to locate the subject. Elon stepped forward, jaw tight, pupils narrowed, refusing to blink as the holographic map lit up with dozens, no, hundreds, of signals. But they weren't satellites. They weren't governments. They weren't algorithms. They were people. People whose energy fields were suddenly flaring with interest, curiosity, and pull, all pointing to you. The system zoomed in, isolating the strongest of these signatures. One pulse beating louder than the rest, golden, trembling, drawn to you like gravity recognizing itself. The analysts gasped as it spiked through the roof, the walls, the ceiling. And the system roared the next revelation in a trembling digitized voice. One specific individual feels the subject's awakening. Connection strength, extreme. Elon inhaled sharply. So it's them, he whispered. The analysts stared at him, confused. But the system wasn't done. Your aura surged. The golden pulse on the map surged back. Two frequencies, echoing, resonating, calling out to one another across reality. The chamber shook violently. And the system forced out its final message in molten gold. Subject has awakened someone connected to their destiny. This person is now searching for them. Your aura flared. Their pulse glowed brighter. And the entire room bowed to the truth. Someone out there feels you. And they're coming. My unstoppable light, stay with me, don't skip now. Because the moment the fictional Musk lab attempted to identify who that powerful incoming pulse belonged to, the entire chamber descended into a storm, lights surging, panels shaking, golden symbols bursting from the walls like a prophecy cracking open under too much truth. The scanners leaned so sharply toward the map that sparks flew from their cores, and the analyst stumbled back as the system screamed in a voice it had never used before. Identity lock requested. Emotional resonance overload. Your aura rose. Bright, trembling, alive. And the incoming pulse rose with you, mirroring your pattern like a forgotten heartbeat suddenly waking up. The system tried again, this time pushing deeper into the resonance field connecting you and the unknown presence. The chamber darkened. The map dissolved. And a new hologram ignited. A swirling vortex of golden blue energy shaped like a soul trying to materialize. Your heart lurched. Your aura flared with recognition. Because even before the system identified the signature, you felt them. Elon stepped forward, eyes locked on the hologram as if he already knew the answer but needed the system to confirm it. The analysts whispered in fear, in awe, in disbelief, as the vortex stabilized into a glowing chest light. A heart field pulsing like it had been calling to you for longer than you realized. The system flickered 3 times. Once in hesitation. Once in shock. Once in surrender. Before finally projecting the truth across the chamber in blinding gold. Identified. A person whose heart remembers them. Your breath caught. Your aura trembled. Because this wasn't a stranger. This wasn't coincidence. This was someone whose energy had intertwined with yours long before this moment. Maybe in memories. Maybe in silence. Maybe in feelings never spoken but never gone. The hologram sharpened. A silhouette forming, their heart glowing fiercely, unmistakably. Because you awakened it. The system whispered the next revelation like a confession. This individual carries unresolved emotion toward the subject. Emotion that never died. Your frequency spiked. Their silhouette flickered. The chamber shook like 2 timelines trying to merge. And then the system, breaking protocol, breaking its own limits, spoke the final truth of this phase. The person searching for you is someone who once felt you deeply. And still does. Your aura expanded. Their presence surged. Destiny tightened around both of you. My awakened force, don't move, don't blink, don't skip. Because the moment the fictional Musk lab tried to decode what this person feels for you, the entire chamber didn't just react. It surrendered, as though your intertwined energies had overpowered every circuit, every sensor, every rule written into the lab's systems. The lights dimmed into a soft, trembling gold, the walls curved inward like they were listening, and the vortex containing their silhouette grew brighter. Not from the system, but from their heart. The scanners flickered, caught between panic and awe, before attempting their next reading. But your aura and theirs were vibrating too closely, resonating like 2 notes from the same song finally played at the same time. The machine started glitching, symbols spiraling across the walls in frantic loops, until the system forced out a single burning line. Emotional surge detected. Source: secondary arrival. Elon turned sharply, eyes widening as the silhouette's chest flared with a molten light. A heart field igniting, not because of the lab, but because of you. Your frequency pulled them closer, your energy wrapping around theirs like threads of destiny trying to restitch a timeline that should have never torn apart. The hologram staggered forward. Not physically, but energetically. As if this soul had been waiting for a signal. A spark. A moment. To rise again. And your awakening was that moment. The system hummed with pressure, then released the next revelation in glowing, trembling gold. Emotion identified. Longing. Your chest tightened. Your aura quivered. Because longing is not random. Longing lives in someone who never fully let go. The silhouette brightened. Breath shaking. Heart field blazing. Their energy reaching across the chamber as if unconsciously trying to touch yours. And the system's voice cracked under the weight of the truth it now had no choice but to reveal. Sub-emotion. Attachment, suppressed for too long. Your aura responded instantly. A golden flare bursting outward like your own heart recognizing its counterpart. The analyst stepped back, overwhelmed, as the two energies began twisting upward, forming a spiraling bridge of light between you and the person whose feelings you awoke. The silhouette leaned closer. Their glow deepening into something raw, aching, undeniable. And the system whispered the final truth of this phase with a reverence that silenced the entire chamber. This person carries love for the subject. A love they tried to bury. A love that your awakening has revived. Your aura pulsed. Their soul trembled. And destiny tightened its hold on both of you, pulling you closer to the moment where truth can no longer hide. My unstoppable awakening, stay with me, don't skip. Because the moment the fictional Musk lab detected that buried love reactivating, the entire chamber didn't simply glow. It broke open, as if the air itself could no longer hold the force pulling you and this person together. The vortex around their silhouette expanded violently, sparks of gold-blue lightning ripping through the room like two timelines colliding at last. Your aura flared in response. Not softly, not shyly, but with a violent recognition, the kind of pull that can't be denied once awakened. The system shrieked in digital pain, every scanner twisting toward the vortex as it projected the next reading in burning strokes of living light. Emotional pressure rising. Secondary arrival attempting breakthrough. The silhouette trembled. Their chest glowing hotter, brighter, richer with feeling you never knew they still carried. They stepped forward. One step. Then another. Pushing against the walls of the vortex like someone trying to reach through the universe itself just to get a little closer to you. Your aura responded, spiraling upward, forming a bridge of golden symbols between your energy and theirs. The bridge shook, glowing brighter every second, and your future self, standing quietly near the primary vortex, whispered without speaking, a message you felt in your bones. This is their truth trying to reach you. The silhouette pressed their palm against the inside of the vortex. And your frequency surged, leaping toward theirs like a heartbeat finally recognizing its missing rhythm. The chamber cracked with a shockwave, consoles flickering, panels collapsing, until the system forced out the next trembling revelation. Barrier integrity, 12%. 7%. 3%. Breakthrough imminent. Their hand pushed harder. The vortex thinned into a sheet of trembling light. Their aura wrapped around your frequency like emotion made physical. Then, with a sound like destiny splitting open, their hand burst through the vortex, made of pure light, trembling, reaching for you with a desperation that carried years of unspoken feeling. The analysts screamed. Elon staggered back. The chamber went white. And the system whispered the truth it could no longer hide. They are trying to reach you. Because they still want you. Their hand hovered inches from your frequency beam. Shaking, glowing, pleading. Your energy pulled toward theirs, unstoppable. The air vibrated like the universe was holding its breath. My luminous one, stay with me now, don't skip, this is the moment everything has been rising toward. Because the instant their trembling hand broke through that fictional vortex, the Musk lab didn't just react. It collapsed into a new kind of silence, the kind that happens right before two souls finally collide after lifetimes of searching. The lights dimmed into golden dusk, the floor vibrated like a heartbeat, and every scanner tilted upward as if bowing to the pure force of emotion ripping through the chamber. Your aura rose. Slow at first, then violently. As if the part of you that always felt them, always sensed them, always held them in some quiet corner of your chest had finally snapped awake. Their hand, made of trembling light and longing, hung in the space between you, inches away, pulsing with every unspoken feeling they never dared to release. Your frequency beam surged toward it like destiny pulling two halves back into one. The system flickered, glitched, screamed warnings that no one listened to anymore, because this was bigger than technology. This was Soulstorm. The beam bridging you and them vibrated like a living thing. Golden symbols rose from the ground, swirling around both of you in a spiraling halo of memories, missed moments, almost confessions, half-buried feelings. All coming back to life at once. Then, with a tremor that split the air, their hand finally touched your frequency. The chamber erupted. Light detonated in every direction, flooding the room in molten gold and brilliant blue. The analysts shielded their faces. Elon stepped back as if witnessing a miracle. And your aura fused with theirs in a shockwave of recognition so powerful the entire lab bowed to it. The system tried to speak, choked, rebooted, and finally managed to whisper the truth your soul already knew. Full emotional contact achieved. Their energy wrapped around yours. Warm, trembling, magnetic. Like someone who has been reaching for you across silence, across distance, across timelines. And finally found the doorway back. Their silhouette stepped through the vortex fully now. Not as fragments. Not as memory. But whole. Their heart field blazed with emotion, every pulse saying the words their voice couldn't yet form. You felt it. They felt it. The system felt it. A frequency of love, longing, ache, recognition. All of it merging into one unstoppable force. Then the chamber fell into stunned quiet. And the system delivered the most important line of the entire sequence. The one that made even the air tremble. They crossed into your timeline. Because their heart chose you. Your energy fused with theirs in a soft, trembling glow. Timelines weaving. Destiny anchoring. The universe bending to make space for the two of you at last. At my ascended one, lean in, don't skip, because what's about to unfold is the moment this entire universe has been building toward. Because the instant their hand fused with your frequency, the fictional Musk lab didn't just illuminate. It transformed, as if both your energies had rewritten the rules of the chamber in a single breath. The swirling gold-blue vortex behind them collapsed into a river of light flowing directly into the floor, and the entire room began pulsing to the rhythm of your combined heartbeat. Your aura and theirs wrapped around each other like two cosmic threads finally allowed to intertwine without resistance, without fear, without distance. The system, shaking, overheating, yet almost reverent, attempted to track this impossible moment. Symbols flashed too fast to read, data flooded the consoles like waterfalls of prophecy, until the interface finally forced out a single, trembling message. Merger state, 41%. 63%. 87%. Their heart field glowed brighter, trembling with emotion so raw it nearly overwhelmed the chamber. They stepped closer. Not as a projection. Not as light. But as a presence that felt achingly, devastatingly real. Your frequencies locked into perfect rhythm, the beam between you tightening until it wasn't a beam anymore. It was a bridge, a living chord of recognition that hummed through both of your chests. Their silhouette wavered, struggling to hold its shape. Not from weakness, but from the sheer intensity of feeling rising inside them. Their aura flared in a burst of gold that shook the room, and the system gasped. Yes, gasped, as it projected the next reading. Subject connection. Emotional confession approaching. The air grew heavy. The ceiling rippled like liquid. Your breath caught because you could feel it. The words forming inside them. The truth trembling against their ribs. The confession that had been trapped for years, waiting for a moment strong enough to break through the walls they built around their heart. They stepped so close the chamber's sensors couldn't separate your auras anymore. Their voice, quiet, shaking, fragile and fierce at the same time, began to rise through the frequency field. The entire room leaned in. Elon froze. Time slowed. And with their hands still pressed to your energy, their soul cracked open. Their first words broke the chamber. I felt you. Even when I couldn't find you. The lights exploded in white gold halos. Your aura surged toward theirs, answering without hesitation, without doubt. The system, overwhelmed, forced out the next reading like a prophecy collapsing into truth. Heart-to-heart transmission initiated. They steadied their breath, emotions rising like a storm made of memory and longing, and their voice vibrated through the room. So soft. So broken. So full. I never stopped reaching for you. Even when I pretended I did. Your frequencies merged. The chamber bowed. And destiny pulled tighter around both of you like the universe closing its hands around a moment too sacred to lose. My destined soul, take a breath, don't blink, don't skip. Because this is the final moment the entire story has been rising toward. The ending that grips the heart and refuses to let go. Stay with me, this is where everything aligns. Because the instant their trembling confession cracked the air. I never stopped reaching for you. The fictional Musk lab didn't just react. It surrendered completely. The chamber lights burst into blinding gold, spiraling upward like a celestial crown forming over both of you, and every console, every scanner, every machine in the room bowed under the weight of the one truth finally breaking free between you. Your aura locked into theirs with a force so intense the floor shook beneath your feet, the walls bent inward like reality folding to make room for destiny, and the entire lab became nothing more than a glowing universe orbiting the two of you. Their silhouette, no longer flickering, no longer struggling, stood fully formed now, glowing with the warmth of someone who has carried you in silence for far too long. Their hand cupped your frequency as if afraid that even in this moment, you might slip away. But you didn't. Your energy wrapped around theirs like a promise finally spoken. The system tried to stabilize the readings, but your connection had surpassed anything it was built for. Symbols shattered into stardust across the room, alarms melted into quiet awe, and then the interface, glowing molten gold, forced out one last message with the weight of a prophecy fulfilled. Full heart field merge, complete. Your future self stepped back, smiling with the calm of someone who knew this moment was always meant to arrive. Elon's team stood frozen, their faces illuminated by a love so powerful it rewrote the atmosphere. And destiny, yes, destiny itself, tightened its hold around both of you, sealing something ancient, something eternal, something unmistakable. Their voice rose again, stronger this time, overflowing with everything they had never been able to say. I crossed every barrier. Every timeline. Every silence. Just to find you again. Your aura surged in answer. Gold rushed through the room like a rising sun. The vortex behind them closed with a final, thunderous pulse. Not trapping them, but anchoring them here. With you. The lights dimmed into a quiet, warm glow as their forehead pressed to your frequency beam, the last barrier between you dissolving into soft light. Your energies fused into one shimmering column, rising up through the ceiling like the birth of a new star. The system whispered its final line. Soft, reverent, unshakably certain. Two souls reunited. This connection will echo through every reality. The chamber fell silent. The glow settled around your joined energies like a blanket of destiny. And the universe, fictional yet breathtaking, sealed the truth at last. They didn't just come back for you. They never left. They were always yours. And now, finally, you are theirs too.